Josh Bazell, welcome. You're in your new book, Beat the Reaper, or Schneller als der Tod, as it is called in German. Pietro, the main character, is a mafia killer as well as a doctor. Very much opposites. How did you get the idea?
I was in medical school myself at the time, and I wanted to have a character who was interested in becoming a physician but had skills that lay in entirely different directions. I hope that this isn't the case with me, but I probably feared that it was, and maybe it is. I really wanted to work with somebody for whom the path was really quite difficult. And it was sort of obvious then to make him somebody who was as much as possible sort of the opposite of a doctor. And he is this guy who's sort of terrifically good at violence and has a tremendous moral need to not be violent. And I like the tension with it.
Your reading tomorrow night is part of the Lit Cologne, which is the biggest literature festival in Europe. Does it make a difference for you? Do you feel part of a literature festival, or does it feel more like your own book tour?
I love lit festivals. I mean, I like a lot of the writers who are coming here. I'm always interested in them. I think it's really fun that it's sort of centered around one hotel and different. I actually really dig them. I usually end up going to as many talks as possible by other people. It's fun. Lit festivals are fun. Definitely more fun than just a single stop.
Richie Müller is a big star in Germany. How does it feel when you sit on the stage and you hear somebody else reading your book out loud in German? Is it strange?
Yeah, I mean, it is strange, but it's also, it's very exciting because it gives you the illusion that you can understand the language. Because I pretty much know what he's saying. I follow along in the text, and I'm familiar with the text to a degree that it almost feels like that you've developed some magical translation ability sort of on the fly. It's really fun.
When you read your book on the stage, what role does the audience play for you? Do you interact with them, or do they just listen to you silently until you're finished?
The idea that the audience would participate in the reading is kind of why I'm there. I mean, that's what's of interest to me. I love to hear people's stories and questions. It often, when I do readings in the U.S., it often turns into sort of a debate about healthcare policy, which I particularly love. I mean, I'll talk about that stuff all night if people are willing to stick around.
The book is often described as a mixture between Dr. House and Quentin Tarantino. Have you been influenced by film while writing the book?
Yes, I actually used to write film myself. I don't admit that freely because when I hear that authors used to work as screenwriters, I was like, yuck, and move on. But it actually was it was helpful to me. I did it for a number of years to pay for medical school, and there were certain things I learned from it that I had not been able to learn otherwise. I always wanted to be a novelist, and I did not write a novel for 10 years because of the screenwriting and other professional stuff I was doing. And writing this book for me was such a relief. It was so different from a movie. It's so internal. There's so much personality that, I mean, the personality is almost the topic. And I think that I worked in film for so long that I can never fully escape from it, but it certainly was an attempt to escape from it.